The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Ready? Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Odafe Oweh. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Now a give, running left is Wilson, and he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well, and that would appear to be a face mask.
Well, when you get an elite running back like he is, sometimes you've got to employ the by any means necessary method to get him down.
Yeah, sometimes you're relieved even if a flag comes out, but if you just get the hand up and you get it on the mask, you can kind of get away with that, but as soon as you curl it around a finger or the hand, that's pretty easy for everyone to see, and they'll call that one every time.
They'll run with Wilson out of the shotgun, and that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On 2nd and goal, Jackson. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and it rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there on the catch catch and run. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? And they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
Now they go play action now. Burrow. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Odafe Oweh. And the Ravens are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now they'll hand it off to Wilson. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? They go play action with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 40. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points. And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Joe Mixon
with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls, are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
On second down, it's Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. This is caught. It's Brown. Brown with a stick touchdown. Marquise Brown with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Mixon with a first down carry. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Burrow going to get this into the hands of Mixon, his running back.
Past the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A nice display of power, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Burrow looking to pass. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. 6 defensive backs out there. Now it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Wilson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Wilson with a first down carry. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down, this is Wilson. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Throwing is Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he needed to get to the midfield stripe, but he can't do it. He's about a yard short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. They'll go for it. This is Wilson. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back can get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure he got the first down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Caught. It's Wilson. And he's got some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing. And they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now Jackson on 1st down. Catch made right side by Wilson. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll make it a 2nd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. It's complete to Brown, right side.
And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They'll try and run with Wilson. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal.
And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Play action. It's Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
But, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Out to the right here to Wilson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to trot out there and try and slow them down.
2 yards the loss, second and 12. Another carry for Wilson. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On third down, here's Wilson. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Burrow on play action.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up.
And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On 1st down, Wilson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
They'll run with Wilson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
Now Jackson. Flushed out right. Got his open man. It's Carr. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is because you got to get his attention because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Von Bell.
And the Bengals are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it downfield. If one piece of that puzzle gets disrupted, it affects the entire chance of success.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Flush to his right.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. CD, with that last pass, he joined a group of about 50 other men that are over 30,000 career passing yards. So, look, he's not at the top, but that's pretty good company.
Yeah, it's not the most exclusive fraternity in the NFL, but it's a pretty good one, isn't it? You still have to put some numbers up in order to get in, okay? The secret knock is still there. How about him getting it done? Proud of him.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Ja'Marr Chase, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. To throw is Jackson. That's complete to his running back, Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll run on 1st down. Wilson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
2nd and 9.
Jackson now. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket, no. Here comes the flag. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. They go play action with Burrow. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 39. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. First down. It's Wilson. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. From the gun, Jackson. He completes it to Wilson. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And his kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Bengals drive about to get going. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll find Chase on the right side, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 20.
And the Ravens have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. The quick feet by Jackson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
And it looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9.
Jackson to throw. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And that ball popped free. We can hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone to the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 33. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return.
And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
Burrow.
And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Burrow.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Buying time to his left. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 28. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Ravens, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.